They say when you die, your life flashes before your eyes. But mine didn't, because I wasn't dead. Not yet. The rain tapped against the window, slow and cold. I woke up in that dim hospital room, air filled with the smell of disinfectant and silence. My chest burned like fire, but I thanked God I made it. The nurse looked at me, her eyes wide with surprise. "Miss Washington, you're awake. Honey, we thought you wouldn't make it." I tried to laugh, but my throat was too dry. Guess the Lord ain't ready for me yet. Then I asked her to call my daughter, Tanya. That's when everything changed. "Your daughter? But she told us you passed. She already signed your death paperwork." I thought she was joking, but when I reached for my phone, it was gone. My wallet was gone. Even my name was gone. The nurse whispered softly, afraid to meet my eyes. "I'm sorry, but your body's been released to the funeral home." That's when I realized my own child had declared me dead. The next day, I begged the hospital staff to call the police, but they looked at me like I was crazy. The record said, "Deceased Doris L. Washington, November 6th, 2023, signed by my daughter." I had no ID, no phone, no money, just a trembling heart and the name of the woman who gave me life and then erased it. The bus rattled through the rain as I sat near the window staring at the world that thought I no longer existed. When I reached home, there was a for sale sign on my porch. Tanya had already packed up my things, told the neighbors I'd passed peacefully. She even posted a fake obituary online with a black ribbon and the words, "Rest easy, Mama." That was the moment my heart truly stopped. They say blood is thicker than water, but sometimes blood can drown you. I didn't know how or when, but I swore Tanya was going to see me alive and unbroken. To be continued.
For more real stories of pain, truth, and redemption, subscribe now and hit the bell icon. Your support keeps these voices alive.
The morning I walked into my own funeral, the sky was gray, just like the day Tanya signed my death. Every step I took felt heavier than the last. But I wasn't coming to die again. I was coming for the truth. I wore a borrowed coat, a scarf pulled low. Nobody noticed the dead woman walking past them. Outside the church, people gathered in black, holding white flowers, whispering my name like a memory. And then I saw her, Tanya, my daughter, standing by the casket, smiling, comforting people who believed her lies. The pastor began the service, voice trembling with sorrow. Today we lay to rest a kind soul, a mother, a friend, Doris Washington. My name echoed through the church like thunder, but I wasn't in that coffin. I was right there, breathing, hurting, watching. I moved closer. People turned, eyes widening in disbelief. One woman gasped. Her flower fell to the floor. And when Tanya finally looked up, "Mama," the color drained from her face. The lies, the comfort, the money, all vanished from her eyes in that moment. I stepped forward, voice trembling but strong. "I ain't gone yet, Tanya. Not till the Lord says so." Gasps filled the room. Cameras came out. Someone screamed, "She's alive!" The pastor nearly dropped his Bible. I could see it, guilt written across my daughter's face. But even then, she tried to lie. Mama, it's not what you think. I buried you for money, Tanya. Her silence was my answer. People whispered, recording every second. The truth had finally found its way to daylight. I turned to the pastor and said, softly, "This ain't my funeral, Reverend. This is my resurrection." I walked out that church door, my heart heavy, but my spirit free. They thought they could erase me with ink, but I had something stronger than paper, the truth. And soon the law was going to hear it too. To be continued.
For more real stories of pain, truth, and redemption, subscribe now and hit the bell icon. Your support keeps these voices alive.
The courtroom was quiet, too quiet. The kind of silence that holds its breath before the truth walks in. I sat there, hands trembling, eyes locked on the door. And then she walked in, Tanya, my daughter, my betrayer. She didn't look at me. She kept her head low, hiding behind her lawyer's shoulder. But I could feel her guilt from across the room, heavy, thick as smoke. The judge cleared his throat. This hearing concerns the fraudulent declaration of death for Mrs. Doris L. Washington. Fraudulent death. That's what they called it. But to me, it was betrayal beyond words. The prosecutor began reading the documents. My forged signature, the fake death certificate, the bank withdrawals. Every line cut through me like a knife. Mrs. Washington, can you tell the court what happened after your supposed death? Yes, Your Honor. I stood, holding the same cane I used to walk back from the hospital that day. My voice cracked, but I spoke every word like it was carved in stone. My daughter declared me dead, so she could take everything I worked for. My home, my pension, my name. Gasps rippled through the courtroom. I forgave her once, for lying. I forgave her for stealing. But this was her burying me alive. Tanya's eyes filled with tears. She tried to speak, but her voice broke before it reached me. Mama, I didn't mean to. You meant every word when you signed that paper, baby. The judge nodded slowly, his face cold with disbelief. Miss Tanya Washington, for identity fraud, falsifying government documents, and elder exploitation, you are hereby sentenced to 5 years in prison. The gavel hit the bench, and with it, years of my silence shattered. Tanya turned, sobbing, as officers led her away. For a second, I almost reached out, that mother's instinct that never dies. But some lessons only pain can teach. Outside the courthouse, the sun was setting, gold light spilling across the steps. I took a deep breath and whispered to myself, justice doesn't always heal the heart, but it gives the soul a place to rest. I walked away not as a victim, but as a woman reborn. Proof that even in betrayal, truth still breathes. Because the dead may sleep, but justice Justice never does. The end.